All right, what's happening, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk about who's more mentally tougher, Khamzat Chimaev or Dricus Du Plessis. Recently saw an interview with Dricus Du Plessis. He said that everybody views Khamzat as the boogeyman of the division. He said that's wrong. He's the boogeyman. He's going to show it. He believes that he is going to break Khamzat, and he said it clearly and concisely. Is that going to be the case? Let's get into this. All right, so touching on Khamzat, do I think Khamzat Chimaev is mentally tough? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I think anybody who steps in that cage, whether it be pro or amateur, has a level of toughness. But since we're talking about the elites, the cream of the crop, specifically focusing on Khamzat, one of the knocks on Khamzat's mental toughness, and I think Dricus touched on this, that time period that Khamzat was really sick with COVID, and he pretty much retired. Now, do I think that has a bearing in a cage match? I think it's like a hint or a sign on some level that, yeah, there's some quit in your mind. But in all fairness, that's outside of the cage. It's not fighting, it's your health. He was going through some crazy stuff, if you knew the specifics. Spitting up blood, gravely ill, pretty sick. Someone actually mentioned this in the comments, the breakdown video I did for Dricus versus Khamzat. In the Gilbert Burns fight, Khamzat definitely showed heart and determination. There was a moment there where Gilbert Burns kind of dropped him and more was like a cuffing shot to the side or the back of the head. Khamzat goes down, goes for a takedown, and like overall that fight was a barn burner, man. It didn't have to go that way. Khamzat himself admitted that. I personally think that Khamzat could have had a better showing against Gilbert Burns if he didn't fight stupid. Fight to entertain the fans. There's a theory that Khamzat didn't attempt to go for takedowns because he was cautious and concerned with the Gilbert Burns jiu-jitsu. Do I think that's the case? Possibly. I mean, how could you not be aware of how good Gilbert Burns is in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling? You got to be pretty stupid to not factor that into your fight. But personally, this is my opinion. I legitimately think Khamzat just fought stupid. He fought to put on a show, to entertain the fans. After the fight, he recognized that. I think his coaches and teammates let him know, like, dude, you didn't have to have that fight be so difficult. Learned his lesson, matured. That's life and a part of growing. You live and you learn. You adapt, you come back better. But if I'm weighing out Khamzat's showing, instances where he showed, mental toughness and resilience versus Dricus, I believe I've seen Dricus rally back more and show more grit, more dog, more determination in that cage. Dricus has went to decision, has had some lengthy, dragged out fights, a lot of back and forth, gutted it out, and often has broken guys. One fight in mind, I mean, not the obvious ones like, against Adesanya, Strickland, but when he fought against Derek Brunson was giving him fits. And I don't remember if that was the legendary Blonde Brunson, because if that was Blonde Brunson, Dricus surely would have lost. Kidding. But yeah, in all seriousness, Brunson was giving him fits. There was some back and forth there. And I believe Dricus broke Derek Brunson. So Dricus knows he's super tough. He knows that there's no quit in him. No instinctual quit. When he says that he's going to fight to the death, I 100% believe that guy. That's something that you can kind of teach in someone. You could kind of instill that into them. But for the most part, that dog, you're born with it. Dricus got that dog in him. Do I think that's going to play a factor in a Khamzat fight? Absolutely. But it's only going to matter if it passes the first round, goes into the second, and so on. So overall, do I think Khamzat Chimaev is tough? Yes. Has he had fights go well for him due to his skill and dominance? And early? Absolutely. And because of that, I think we've seen more dog and grit from Dricus just based off how his fights have went down. They've been competitive wars of attrition for the most part. I mean, he has squashed people, but we've seen Dricus have to use grit in his heart to break guys more so than Khamzat, in my opinion. So wrapping up this video, in short, black and white, is Khamzat tough? Yes. He's definitely a killer. Is Dricus Du Plessis tough and a killer? Yes. Who do I think is more mentally tougher? I think Dricus. That's just my opinion. I think it will play a factor in the fight depending. Dricus has to just make it out that first round. Anyway, guys, drop those thoughts. Who do you think is the mentally tougher fighter, Khamzat Chimaev or Dricus Du Plessis? Would love to read your thoughts. Thanks for watching or listening. Appreciate the support. Hit that like button, share if you can, subscribe if you haven't. And until the next segment, take care, my friends.